Well, welcome back, family. Welcome back. This is Coach Jay coming to you, the talented 10th financial coach for my people. The reason why I came up with this name was I was reading something in Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. He made mention about the talented 10th. That it that made reference to he was making reference to the people who have grasped a educational level to go back and reach back and bring others along to teach, train, bring up. So I'm doing it as a financial coach, the talented 10th, going back and pulling our own folks up. We've been given a bad end of a stick by this nation, 246 years in bondage, whipped, beat, killed, murdered, executed, raped, impregnated, you name it, by this nation, the majority of this nation, the people who were in the positions of power. All our forefathers had slaves. Um, so, I mean, that's just reality. That's not a strike against any people. They had the position of power. When Egypt was in charge, they had the Hebrews as slaves. So whoever's got the position, the seat of power, they dominate everybody else and do whatever they want, whether it's right or wrong. But it's unfortunate. Black folks in America have been left behind, and then it says, okay, now you're free. It's just like you have a person in jail for 50 years, and you're like, okay, we just drop them off. Okay, go and survive. Okay. That's why a lot of times people end up back in the system because at least they're familiar and they have shelter and they have food and they have a regimented system to tell them exactly what to do because you don't even know what to think and how to think on your own. You've been locked up. What do I do next? You don't have no resources, so you're going to revert to survival mode. So whatever that looks like, that's what most people end up doing. Not all, because a lot of people have come out and been very successful. So I want to be able to dialogue with you because once again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I am a person that looks like you. And what I'm informing you on, I have went through. I share with you guys that I started off my investment journey. All I had, because we family never sit around a dinner table, and we had a two-parent home, 8 people total, uh, 5 other siblings, 2 parents. Always, all I know is family unit. Uh, Celebrated Christmases together, Thanksgivings together, and one roof, under one roof. And I had fun growing up. I had no issues at all. I can't even remember one negative thing in the household that I can that said was bad. We weren't balling out of control. We had a house, always had a home that I can remember. I think my brothers and sisters, they were trying to tell me we lived somewhere in a basically apartment duplexes or something, and I must have been a baby because I don't remember any of that. I just remember us always having the house, the family house that we still have in existence today. I think it was bought in 1972 or something like that. I know it was brand new. And I remember my mom one day, I was asking her when I bought my first home. I said, Mom, how much does this house cost? And she told me, she said, yeah, it was like $14,000 because we got the fence added and that added up. I was like, $14,000? And that was 1972. And she said, yeah, we were paying like 100, and she said because of the fence, we ended up paying like $150 or $60 a month for the mortgage. I was like, what? Not rent, mortgage. And I was like, wow. So once again, we never had a conversation about finances. Not a strike against them. My mother was born in Mississippi. She's gonna be 85 years old this year in August. My dad is deceased. He's been gone for 21 years. He passed when he was 72 years old. He had just paid off the house, and that was it. That was pretty much it. There was no finances left to pass on to generations to follow. And that's okay because we were at least giving maximum love. We never starved, never went without food, never went without clothes. I thought we were doing okay. And we were rich in all of that. There was just no wealth building outside of just, having a home and a loving family, which is great. But also, life is demanding of finances. So my whole objective for my life was to be able to pass on generational wealth, to start it and pass it on. And that's my goal. But I don't want to just stop with my four no more. I want to reach out to everybody who look like me, because in the year of 2054 it's projected that our net worth as black people, the medium black family, will be 0 to negative. And I want to change that course forever, not just for the next generation, but for generations to come. And it starts with a mindset shift. We must shift our mindset from being consumer culture to investing culture. Once again, they call us the consumer culture because they know they can throw out an ad and they can throw out any type of advertisement out there and we'll be the first ones to buy it. Once again, I'm wearing Nike. I got this at Burlington. I'm not getting any royalty from them. But Burlington, it was on sale. Man, that's probably about 10 years ago. I'm still wearing it. I didn't go to the Nike store to get this. I went to Burlington, which is a discount store, and I bought it because I like the color and the material. Look how long it's lasting. Sometimes when you buy higher quality, pay a little bit more, you're gonna have it last a little bit longer. Just like with fragrances, the reason why the fragrances that some of us like, they're $500-600 for a couple of ounces, is because you don't have to spray a lot and it lasts longer, the fragrance, and it's not overbearing and make you sneeze when you walk in a room because you put on all this perfume or fragrance. But you got this on and it's like, whew, that smells really good. Wow. And it's good to be able to smell good, because now you're able to share with people some information because they just want to be around you. It's got nothing to do with all the other drama, but because that's headaches. Those are headaches. But anyway, we're talking about finances here. We're talking about the last session we talked about. So I want to make this part number 2 of our Roth IRA, because I wanted to give some more information out to you. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, man. So let's dive back into it. We talked about the Roth IRA. The Roth IRA was really legislated in 1997. There was a senator by the name of William Roth. He's the one that introduced it to Congress, and Congress bought off on it. And it went into legislation and passed in 1997. And it's after-tax dollars. So basically, any compound growth or interest that you gain at the age of 59 and a half, when you start pulling it out, you don't have to pay any taxes on any of that money. And if you pull out the gain, the compound growth on it prior to 59 and a half, you're going to get penalized. You're going to get penalized. So the kicker is for you to wait until you're 59 and a half and had it for at least 5 years for you to start pulling out after that time period, 59 and a half, and had it invested for at least 5 years. Okay, I need to add that one in as well. So, but all your contributions from the time that you put in, you can take out at any time you want. You just can't take out any capital gain from that investment that you have sold into. Okay, The other thing is there's say for instance you pass away, regardless of your age, and whatever amount that you have in there, and it goes to your heirs, whoever you have signed up. So you need to make sure once you sign up, you need to sign out beneficiaries. You can sign up anybody you want. The spouse does not have to be automatically your beneficiary. Okay, so that's something you need to talk to your spouse if you're married, or and whoever else, your children, and just whether you let them know or not, you need to. It will supersede a will. So whoever you name as your beneficiaries will be the one that will receive your money in the proportion that you designate, whether they're 50% here to this child, 50% to this child, or 100% to this child, and then have a contingency just in case that child pass away. So you need to name those. That's very important because people fight over money all the time. I see it every weekend. People are frustrated. They're not just sad because you passed away. They sad because you left them with debt, or you didn't leave them with anything to live on with. So once again, the Roth IRA is a powerful tool that we can use. Then I would just throw out an example. I went ahead and wrote this down, and once again, Senator William Roth introduces it to Congress, and Congress bought off on it. 1997 is when it was legislated and when it was passed and started being implemented. So let's say, for instance, you're a 20-year-old. Now, we're talking about black wealth. We're trying to build this thing because we weren't given anything, pretty much. And the ones who may have inherited something is very few. There are very few. So let's talk about a 20-year-old. Say, for instance, you're a 20-year-old, you just start your job, you don't want to go to college, you said, you know what, I'm going to just start working. I challenge you to put in $200 a month into your Roth IRA. Go into an index fund, and you can find S&P index fund. You can go, once again, I'm just giving you information. You go back and do your research. You can go back and check out Fidelity. They got good index funds. You can go and check out my champion mutual fund company, Vanguard. You can check them out. You can check out Charles Schwab. Check out index funds because they have the lowest fees because they are not actively managed. They just go with the Standard & Poor's S&P 500 or the S&P Standard & Poor's. And index, look for index funds. They have the lowest fees. Make a comparison. And I'll talk more about that as well, and we'll draw it up for you. So let's look at a 20-year-old. He got an index fund that's a Roth IRA. Say, for instance, I'm not going to name any. You go do your research for yours, but I'm going to just use an example. And let's say we're going to use the VTSAX. That's the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. It's a really good fund. It's about $100 and some odd a share right now. But if this person started at the age of 20, we want to get them on track to be at least a millionaire by the time they're 60 years old and ready to start withdrawing some of this money. We're going to advise this person or suggest this person $200 a month. $200 a month at 10% compound growth, the rate of return. And that's what's the market's been doing for the S&P 500 over the last 60, 70 years. 10% compound growth, $1 million. If you take that same scenario, 20 to 60, and he started investing the max for this year, which is $7,000, that's $583.33 a month. If you start doing that for the next 40 years, $3 million. We just changed that family tree. $3 million, all tax-free money. So basically, I got 30 seconds left. I want to challenge you to go and to look more into this Roth IRA. You can Google it. You can go and check out mutual funds. You need to. I just named three big top three companies, big companies. Fidelity, Vanguard, Charles Schwab. Check them out. Look for an index fund and start now. The best time to start was yesterday, but the second best time to start is right now. We walk by faith, not by sight.